Now, he fell a little straight here, and this isn't a problem on the 6 or 7. It's the problem is getting from the 7 to the 8, and it starts with a problem kind of straight here on the 6. So he's going to try and get the cue ball off the rail as much as he can, but it's more about the angle and big problems there. And that's where you have to, you know, if you're worried about your partner or if you feel like you have to do a little more, you really got to make some keen decisions and wonder if I'm trying to do a little too much.
Big problems for them lead to big opportunities now for Hungary.
They're going to play the triple here. So it is some distance. It's got to be accurate. Not just to make the 8, really, but to hold for the 7.
And he's done a pretty good job of it. Bezdan, not a familiar name by any means. He does have a world ranking, but it's number 249.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe a little lack of participation reflecting that ranking, but one thing about the last shot from Sanjin, when you're in a partner situation and you feel like, you know, you need to be the person, easy way to do it is start off playing it just how you would play it if you're by yourself, and then see how things unfold. Or let's just say he doesn't change much. Going for the bank. And I tell you, I don't mind it at all, Michael. I talked about it earlier in some matches, right? Whether it be to get yourself going or you're in a bad situation anyways, the safety's tough. Or if you feel like you're an underdog, you have to bury some shots. Take it into your own hands. I don't think Oliver minded that at all.
Like the Hungarians, one player on the B&H team is much higher ranked than the other. Pikniak is down at number 87 in the world. He's been steadily starting to make his mark. Last 64 of the European Open last year. Same stage of the World Championship this year.
Yeah, just give them a little time, these youngsters, they can make leaps and bounds in the game, especially getting to play with the best in the world. Much cleaner delivery there from Sanjin. Very nice run out there in game number 3, and a little fortunate on the break off. The cue ball was going to get lost, making 2 more on the break with the 3 over the side. Friendly low kiss on the green 6.
Extension code.
Who's got a, you know, a heck of a chin, can handle a few things, but I mean, you want them both reasonable. But I think everyone's going to have ups and downs anyways. I think a couple years ago, Josh Filler probably kind of, you know, took him home, right, for that title for Germany. And I think if it was any other case, we may have seen his partner back in that position. So, you know, it's hard to say.
Just a brief moment of anxiety there for Aydin Pikniak. Took the cue ball a little further than he would have intended, but doesn't make a great degree of difference. And that completes back-to-back break and runs. Not getting much chance to show it at the moment. They've not been to the table in the last 2 racks, and that's why B&H lead 3-1.
Yeah, that's a problem there. Whether it goes one rail cross side or you dive it below the rack enough to open up the bottom two corners. That one's on Sanjin. Now Hungary has a chance to get going with ball in hand. Is Turkey one of them? A little missable. And you can see the nerves going a little bit, maybe a little over eager to knock some balls in. And probably an obvious statement, but ooh, that one squeaked home. And again, maybe not quite used to the slick table and the way the cue ball reacts, but you got to get, of course, comfortable with your partner. And I think all these teams are comfortable with their partner. I think maybe concentrate on getting comfortable with yourself a little bit.
Pikniach was in the semi-finals of the Ljubljana Open last month. Good field there. And he was beaten by Oliver Szolnocki, who's on the opposing side from him this evening.
You can see the tools, and you can see how similar the cue action is between the two players from B&H.
BOSNA HEREGOVINA.
Americans, and I'm sure they're on top of it, but the Rassen table does jump a little easier than most other tables, and with the players playing on different equipment last week and now coming to the Rassen, it's got a thicker slate, so the ball just gets in the air a little bit easier. We've seen a few balls off the table here already in this World Cup.
Just 10 years ago, Hungary were quarter-finalists in this World Cup.
Foul stroke. 2 fouls.
And it's looking less and less likely they'll get anywhere near that this time.
Please start the clock.
And we've seen 1 3-foul situation already, where 3 consecutive fouls by any player or team, rather playing 9-ball pool, is a loss of game. And that's mainly for like stalemate situations and stuff like that. That's where it really kind of came about. Like for instance, the 6-7, right? If there's balls in front of that, like who's going to attack there? And speaking of attacking, going for a 3-9 combo.
Yeah, 3 fouls can bring an abrupt end to a rack. Combination like this does the job just as well. This for a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, now he's playing safe behind the 8 as well. Just the only reason I say that is because he just looked for a little angle. I think if I play the combo, I just go all out or play the safety or the run out.
Well, he's made the combination, and Bosnia-Herzegovina looking to win a match in the World Cup for the very first time. They're just a couple of racks away from doing it.
You almost feel like it's the right thing to do, and if you look around, no coincidence, you know, for the most part, the better players do take their time. But it isn't overly slow, right? It's something to keep some kind of pace around the table, something that feels good. You know, we can always tell when the slower players get in there. It's painful, really.
Bezdan, this very likeable 32-year-old from Budapest, is just looking increasingly jumpy as the match goes on. He's less settled now, I think, than he was at the beginning.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to what I was saying earlier. When he finds it, right, it's really, really good. It's just sometimes it takes a little longer than desired. A little device going off in the background. All right, watch out for the side pocket going forward here. Same thing with the draw stroke.
See him drumming the table with his fingers there. So anxious about where that was going to finish up and where it has ended up. It's giving Sanjin Pelovanovic the ideal chance to go 6-1 up here. Hungary won the opening rack of this match. Bosnia-Herzegovina have taken half a dozen in a row since then.
And all these mean a lot. Of course, they're up 6-1. They play Austria next if they go on to get out here and win this match. And Austria was in a real sweater and really, on paper, should have lost it. And I think they'd tell you the same thing. But definitely the complexion between the two teams quite a bit different if you think about Austria and then B&H here tonight.
And if they do finish it here, it'll be very nice for Pikniak that he will get to pot the winning 9-ball. Pelovanovic, of course, has had big moments on big stages over the last couple of years. Pikniak, the less known and the less experienced of the two. But this is a special moment for Aydin Pikniak. 20 years of age, from Sarajevo, has given his country its first ever win in the World Cup of Pool. They lost the opening rack against Hungary. They didn't lose any more after that. It's a landslide, really. They've beaten the number 13 seeds by 7 racks to 1. And we will see them again in the next round against the two-time winners, Mario He and Albin Ocean of Austria. Well done, B&H.